5 people hospitalized after shooting in North Miami neighborhood. The neighborhood was closed by police for hours, with witnesses saying they heard between 20 and 30 shots fired. This was published by NBC6, originally on September 15th, 2022. I'm reading the article from NBCMiami.com. Police are investigating a late-night shooting Wednesday in North Miami that sent 5 people to the hospital. A mass shooting is when 4 or more people are shot or killed by gun violence, including the shooter. This is the 566th mass shooting in the United States of America in 2022 alone. That is more than 2 per day on average. This is embarrassing that this happens in the richest, greatest, most prosperous nation in human history, that so many Americans can be hurt and killed by gun violence. And if you've been following my channel, or if you know me and you know my content, I've spoken openly about how I used to live in Miami. I lived in Miami for 4 years, and I've been to North Miami. And North Miami is an interesting place, like the entire Miami metro area, because it's not all good and it's not all bad. There are $1-million houses and condos up this way near the beach and the streets, and then the other way you have the slums, right? And some people will say, well, if we want to make our neighborhood safer, why don't we just tear down the slums? Or why don't we just kick out all the poor people, right? Instead of actually thinking, what can we do to actually make our country safer by actually getting rid of the guns? Because many people who carry guns, whether they do them legally or illegally, are doing it for their safety. And all the people that use these guns that end up causing this carnage that happens on the streets only end up hurting more and more Americans. We should not live in a state of anarchy, in a state of dystopian fear in our streets. We should be able to go to church, go outside in the park, go to different places, and not have to worry about gun violence. It's happening too much in America. We need to abolish the Second Amendment, get rid of the guns, period. North Miami police officers arrived at the scene near Northwest 131st Street and 9th Avenue, where they found 5 people with injuries to their lower extremities. None of the injuries were considered life-threatening, but they were all life-changing, because every time somebody is shot, that is a traumatic event that can alter their lives forever. We don't know if they will need permanent physiological or psychological help forever, if this person will succumb to their injuries, if this person will be paralyzed, if this person will have crippling medical debt, because of course we live in a nation that does not guarantee universal health care. So getting shot is not something to trivialize. 3 of the victims were taken to Ryder Trauma Center. 1 was taken to HCA Florida Aventura Hospital, and 1 was treated at the scene and released. Detectives interviewed several witnesses at the scene, but did not release any other details on the shooting. Stay tuned to NBC6 on air and online for updates. And that's the most that most people will ever hear about the story, because mass shootings or gun violence in general in America goes underreported, because to Americans, this is normal. The gun is God to all Americans. It does not matter how many of our children die, how many people get shot in the streets, or when the next horrible, horrific mass shooting that will demand immediate mass attention. No matter how many of those Columbines, Uvaldes, Buffaloes happen in America, gun is God. The gun is king. And the gun manufacturers rule our minds. The NRA has infected the world with its bullshit propaganda that guns make us safe, or that it's the American way to have guns. And as more and more Americans continue to die or be injured by gun violence, we will not see an end to this carnage, and I will still be here. So if you want to continue to attack me or attack my views on abolishing the Second Amendment or actually having actual gun control in America, hey, I can take that heat, because I'm here standing up for all lives, because all lives mattered, right? Anyway, my name is Simon Hill. Thank you for watching.